Hey Aquarius, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Aquarius. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. What we have, okay, so for person A, we have Justice. And for person B, we have the Devil. Okay. Now, don't freak out about that. It doesn't mean that either one of you are evil people or anything like that. We're going to get into like what that means and kind of like what energy comes through. So let's start with the Justice person. So the Justice is Libra energy, a balanced energy. And this is card number 11. So that reduces to a 2. 2s talk about balance. They talk about harmony, about consideration, like weighing options sometimes. And they also talk about love. So this Justice person is probably a very loving person, a very love-focused person. Now, I do think this is interesting because the energy I'm getting off of this Justice person is really that they are extremely logical. At least they lead with this logical side of themselves. So just the fact that they have this this loving nature and this kind of like tender part of their heart, it's just interesting energy to note because it might not be something that that people generally think about them. So this is somebody who just leads with so much logic, and they're so practical and so reasonable, and sometimes can seem maybe even a little bit harsh. So people aren't those around them probably don't think like, oh, you're just a softie, because they don't come off as a softie at all. But I think deep down they really are. This Justice person is definitely a very giving person. Like, they will give the shirt off of their back to anyone, and especially to those who they care about, somebody that they're close to. They will give and give and give, sometimes maybe to their detriment, but they will give, and they will make sure that the people that they care about and the people that they are closest to have everything that they need. It's like that's something very important to this person, to kind of take care of everyone and to just make sure everybody's comfortable. This is definitely a person who gets along with everybody, who can get along with a lot of different people. In fact, I really see them like playing this role of like, what do I want to call it? I almost want to call it like a bridge, but basically like the person in a family or in a friend group who's like the one person that everybody in the family or all the friends talk to. They all go to this person for advice or when they're having a conflict with someone else. And sometimes even when like certain family members or certain friends aren't speaking to each other, they always talk to the Justice person. Like they're the one that's in contact with everyone, even when some people won't speak to each other. So in this way, they have this energy about them where they always try to smooth situations over. They try to bring peace and harmony to situations, try to like balance things out. For using that Libra energy, they try to like see both sides of things and like reach some kind of harmonious middle ground. That's just their nature. So this can, of course, sometimes get them like kind of caught up in other people's drama and being left to sort through things and just trying to like mend things all the time. It can be exhausting, but I think it just comes so naturally to this Justice person. They just kind of want everybody to get along all the time. One thing I will say about this Justice energy, this can be, in some ways, sometimes this Justice person can be judgmental. They can either feel that they are being judgmental or other people can see them as judgmental. They probably aren't judgmental, really, but just the way that they come off, the way that they're pretty straightforward and communicate a lot, it can seem sometimes like they are judgmental. I think where this gets in this person's way is that they want to like make a judgment, like they want to decide about things. things being left undecided or unclear in their lives is a place where this person feels very uncomfortable. So they might in some ways be quick to pass judgment. And I don't mean like to be critical of other people, but they'll be quick to come to a decision a lot of the time. They want to decide about how they feel about something or just what is true, and just let that like be the fact, let it be the law, let it be the rule. And in the absence of those facts, in the absence of like the ability to do that, sometimes this justice person can jump to conclusions and kind of create facts where there are none, and make a judgment like too soon. I think it just makes them very anxious to not like know the answer, to not have the conclusion already in line, like in their minds mapped out. And that can just cause them to kind of make up for themselves what the answer to an unsolved question could be. And in that way, they can assume the worst sometimes. So I think that with this person, when someone is not communicating with them, and they're very communicative, so when they aren't receiving that communication, they can jump to worst case scenario as a form of a reasonable conclusion. So I definitely think this is somebody who, like, in a relationship they want an equal partner. They want that give and take. They want to bring balance to their relationships. And I think this person's been in relationships and connections before where they did not feel like they were getting out what they were putting in. Like, they just didn't think that it was... They feel like they give too much sometimes. Like that they've given way more than they were ever going to get. And then at the end, they're just kind of left used up. It doesn't seem to stop this person. Like, I don't get the feeling that they drag that into future relationships. They kind of like start brand new, and they will be just as open and giving each time or in each scenario. It doesn't even have to be in a romantic connection. They're just very giving when it comes to friends, family members, people who are close to them. And sometimes they feel like they don't get out what they put in. So they definitely are approaching this connection as wanting to bring balance, wanting it to be an equal give and take. That's something that's really important to this justice person. Okay, let's move into this devil energy a little bit. This is Capricorn energy here, so an earth energy. The devil card is number 15, and that reduces down to a 6. So 6s talk about harmony, stability. And I also want to point out that the Lover's card is number 6 in the deck. So this actually reduces down to the same number as the Lover's card. And in a lot of ways, the Lover's card and the Devil card are just opposite sides of the same coin. If you look in a traditional deck, the imagery is much the same on the Lover's and the Devil card. So there's a lot of similarities there. And that does let me know that the Devil person, they're a very loving person. Like, they've got two sides to them. They've got a really loving side, and they've got, it's not that it's an evil side, but I think it's a side that they might be a little bit afraid of. So let's just talk about in general, like, kind of who this person is. This person is definitely a very committed person. When they set their mind to something, or when they start out on something, they're going to stick with it. They don't just leave things undone, leave things half finished. They stick with it. And everything that they do is filled with a lot of drive and a lot of passion. In some ways, they can seem almost addicted to things that they've committed to, because that's just how focused they will be on those things, and how driven they will be to bring things to completion. So to bring projects to completion. They can be like, they can have a singular focus a lot of the time to really finish something, to really wrap something up. So very dedicated, very committed person. I do also think, let me just say this though before I get into that. This sort of is touching on the connection and we haven't really gone there, but I will say this Justice person is incredibly drawn to the Devil person's energy, their enthusiasm, their passion. Like that's something that they love about them, that dedication and that focus. They just make everything seem like it's really fun and like it's they're so passionate, and their passion is contagious basically. And this Justice person definitely picks up on that and loves that about about this Devil person. I think that even though this Devil person, even though they can be a very positive force in terms of when you think about completing things and bringing things to completion, to fruition, being dedicated, being devoted, that these are all very positive qualities and they really will stick to things. But then there's this other side of them, this sort of darker side of them, and they, just like the Justice person, are prone to always think of the worst case scenario. So I think when it comes to this connection, there is this similarity here, and like beneath the surface, we have two people who are prone to jumping to the worst case in their minds. I don't know if these people are expressing that to each other. So you might not know that your person is having these same thoughts, is worrying about like, what if this and what if that, and always kind of going the negative way with their what ifs. But it's something that both people will tend to do. I think they do it for different reasons. I think the Devil is just prone to this. They are just they'll just do it. They'll just jump to the worst case scenario. And I think that the Justice person doesn't necessarily have to do that, but I think that the combination of these two people really brings this out in the Justice person, because this Devil person can sometimes be a little bit confusing to the Justice person, can be a bit absent, can be a bit reclusive. And like I was saying, the Justice person, in the absence of facts, will jump to a worst case scenario. They will jump to like, okay, I didn't hear from the person. They must not like me anymore. So this is over. Because they just have this, like this desire to say, like to have the final word, to kind of like a judge does, like slam their gavel down. Like they want to make that final judgment. And it's really just coming from a place of not knowing makes them feel so insecure and so wobbly. And so I think this Devil person kind of brings out a bit of wobbliness with the Justice person. And I think that sometimes this relationship, this connection, drives this Justice person crazy, because outside of this person feels that they are very logical and like reasonable and shouldn't be having just all of this internal turmoil going on, and shouldn't not be able to come to a conclusion like they always can. Like they can always come to a conclusion and find the final answer, the right answer, the fair thing. And the Devil person, they just, like, in some ways, they just cannot figure them out. So I just think like this Justice person's ability to be logical in the presence of this Devil is diminished, and it kind of like irks them that this person can get to them so much, can be on their mind all the time, can cause them to like not be able to just tap into that logical part of their brain and just logic their way out of it. They have not figured out how to logic their way out of this connection. I think that with the Justice person also, there's like this extreme desire to just communicate, to express themselves, to be more open about how they feel about this connection. And it doesn't go anywhere with the Devil person. Like they're not getting through to the Devil person, or they're not able to find their ability to express, like they can't find their voice, which again I think is like an odd thing for this Justice person to to experience, but it's definitely like that's their goal in this. That's their desire, is to communicate about what's going on between the two of them. This is such an interesting dynamic because in that way, in terms of communication, I feel this Justice person feels a bit restricted by this connection. But in terms of the individuals here, this Devil person makes Justice want to really cut loose and be free and release all of their inhibitions. And that's how the Devil person feels around the Justice person as well. They feel more free, and they feel like they want to explore. Okay. I'll just say it. There is extreme sexual chemistry, attraction, desire in this connection, and especially coming from the Devil person. I think that this feels extreme even for this person, and it's really causing them to rethink or to pull back or something. There is an extreme desire when we're just talking about letting go of inhibitions. I think that's something that the Devil person is more accustomed to doing, and that's just something that Justice loves about this Devil. Like, just kind of cutting loose a little bit. The Devil can be a bit more carefree and experimental than Justice, who's very reasonable, logical, level-headed. But at the same time, this passion and this want and this need to explore with Justice kind of scares the Devil a little bit, because I think even though they're used to this, they're not used to exactly what they feel about Justice. So there is really like an extreme attraction here and an extreme sexual desire, urge to explore with the Justice person. So depending on like what is going on in this connection, if this is a relationship that has already reached that level, then, well, you'll know what I'm talking about no matter which side of this you resonate with, because this is like a bomb went off when the two of these people come together. So the Devil person has this on their mind all the time, and they're well aware that like no one has ever satisfied them like this Justice person. And if they haven't actually connected in that way yet, they are just so sure that no one will ever satisfy them like this Justice person. And that, I think that is pretty terrifying for them. Either something they've experienced and they almost feel like, I cannot do that again, or like every time I do that, I lose a little bit of myself. I am so connected and so attached to this person. Or it's just something that they know would happen, because there's definite fantasies going on here on the Devil person side. They are extremely in their fantasy world about Justice. They are, it's, wow. I wish you could just see inside my brain right now, because that would be worth 1,000 words right now, and I'm trying to keep this somewhat PG, but let's just say the Devil person has a very vivid imagination, and that imagination goes to some pretty adventurous and dirty places. Like, these fantasies get quite hot. Quite hot. So there's definite chemistry here. I think both people feel it. I think the Devil person really feels it. I think they feel that urge that they have to be committed and to see things through. They feel that coming through for Justice, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know that they expected this kind of connection. So the idea that it became something so serious for them and something so passionate is like a bit overwhelming. I get this feeling from the devil person that they feel like they need to resist justice for some reason. Now, that would be different in every connection, but there is this feeling that like they feel this this pull towards them, this very passionate. I mean, I think it's more than just that, but definitely justice is on their mind a lot and in a very, very passionate way. And they feel like they should be resisting justice for some reason. For some of you, I mean, I really don't know. I don't know why the devil feels like they can't just be with justice, especially because justice wants to communicate. This could be a situation where there's something forbidden about this connection, some reason why the devil person thinks, and maybe the justice person thinks it too, why they think it's not appropriate for us to be together, or it's not appropriate for me to feel this way about you. So maybe a work situation, maybe, yeah, I am kind of getting that feeling like there is something forbidden about it. So there could be a connection, friend connection, or an ex connect, like maybe this is somebody who your friend dated, or there's something here. If there's not a real reason why this devil person feels that they need to resist justice, then it is, you guys, I'm getting all tongue-tied, and I feel like that's how the devil feels around justice. And I also feel like this is not a feeling that the devil gets all the time. I think this is somebody who's like pretty confident, maybe even a little bit cocky, like kind of like dripping in swagger type of person. And when they come across justice, they go all fumbly. It's like the weirdest thing, because they never do that. And then like on this, like at the same time, this justice person who's like, I can be logical, but I cannot be now. Like I cannot be logical around the devil. It's something that these two people bring out in each other, like just bringing out this side of them that they don't associate with. Like justice thinks like, no, I am logical. Why am I acting like this? I am logical. Like I don't even worry about being logical and being able to like come to a reasonable conclusion about things. I don't even worry about that because that's something I naturally do. And the devil's like, I don't even worry about like having swag and being able to keep my cool around people. This could be somebody who like really dated a lot, who like kind of, you know, was out there a little bit and is not socially awkward at all. Like this is somebody who people are drawn to, and they know it, and they're confident. They don't feel like that around justice. They feel kind of like like I want to say like out of place, or like out of their skin. Like they just feel off balance around justice. And it's because they're just so drawn to and enticed by, and just the things that they think. I think that's also what gets in the way for the devil, is like the things that they've thought about doing. This is going a whole different way, you guys. But yeah, I think it's like they have fantasies about justice all the time, and then when they see justice in person, or when they think about talking to this person, they get really shy and nervous because they're like, oh my gosh, if only you knew the things that were running through my mind. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me blush. I just think that this devil person doesn't feel like they really have the strength to resist justice. They just don't. And I don't know really why they feel that they need to, but there is some reason that they think they need to. It could be just a matter of feeling like justice is just too pure for them. Like they just don't even think that justice deserves almost like to be subjected to them. That is the weirdest thing. Yeah. I feel like that just, yeah, I just heard that. I think that is what the devil feels like, that they are almost like they would corrupt justice. That's so interesting. And I think that the reason that they're getting that is just because this isn't somebody who committed, like who's ever committed to a relationship. I think they commit to a lot of things that they do in life and they bring a lot of passion to it. But when it comes to relationships, commitment isn't, they just don't think it's their strong suit. Whether they've done it before or not, they don't think it's their strong suit. And they think that justice deserves commitment. Like they deserve the ultimate commitment, and they're not sure that they can give that to them. So they feel like they need to resist, but at the same time they know that they can't. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like, so justice justice is frustrated, and I can just feel that, like, just coming out of the energy of the devil person, there's a level of kind of frustration. It's a whole different kind of frustration, though. When I kind of tap back into justice's energy, this is frustration out of confusion, out of there being blank spots that need to be filled in, out of the devil moving so slow. As far as justice is concerned, the devil is moving at an incredibly slow pace, and it's just frustrating because they just want to communicate and they just want to move things forward, and it seems like the devil's dragging their feet. Now, the devil is Capricorn energy, very grounded energy, so yeah, sometimes things will move kind of slow when it comes to Capricorn energy, but I think that maybe the justice person sees this as no movement. But if you knew what was going on, if the justice person knew what was going on in the devil's head, it's not no movement. There's a lot of movement, and there and there's a lot going on there. It's really an internal battle. It's this feeling of like, I need to resist this connection, and I know I can't at the same time. Okay. Wow. I feel like this, I feel like the devil sometimes feels like they can handle it. And so if this is a situation where the two of you don't talk very often, sometimes this devil person might feel like, I can handle it. I can resist. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to call. I'm going to send a text. I'm going to suggest that we meet up. I want to see justice. But when that happens, if they ever get that far, because again, they're going through this internal battle, if they ever get far enough to actually reach out, when these two come together, the devil realizes again, whoa, I cannot resist this. I can't hang out casually. I can't talk to this person casually. And they start to kind of panic. Yeah, panic. Oh man, you guys. I think that there is something here about commitment and about this devil person maybe just not feeling like they can offer the sort of commitment that justice needs or wants, or maybe in the past they just don't think that they've been good at offering commitment. So there's a hesitation there. There's a slowing. Let's look into some of these oracle cards and see what else we can get. So for justice, we have abundance. And for the devil, we have fulfillment. Okay. I really think that, like, with this abundance card, just tapping back into that energy of justice, just like wanting to give and give to everyone around them, everyone that they care about. I think that the devil person sees this justice person as very abundant in terms of love. Maybe in other ways, but it's like they see them as a never-ending source of exactly what they need. And I think the justice person knows this. Like, they, at the same time, think, I'm never going to run out of love for the devil person. I'm never going to run out of love. Like, it's a never-ending supply here. And, like, they both know it. That might be a little bit of what's making the devil hesitant. Because if they don't feel like they can trust themselves, and they feel like they're dealing with a person who is so pure and so loving and so giving and just such an endless flow of love and affection, and you know, they don't want to take advantage of it. They feel like they might, and I don't think that they will. I think that they aren't really they aren't focusing on all of the beautiful sides of themselves and everything that they can offer. I think that they're kind of telling themselves this story that they can't be in something committed, that that's not for them, that almost like they're not good enough for that, or like they don't qualify. That's the feeling I'm getting. Like they think that they don't meet the qualifications for something committed or for what this justice person deserves, and they just see what this person is giving as something so abundant and just like a never-ending flow. And they just like, they want to protect justice. It's like they want to protect justice from themselves. And I don't think justice really needs to be protected, but that's how they're feeling. This fulfillment card, this almost makes me sad, because this devil person knows what's up. Like, they know how fulfilled they feel around justice. They know that they've never felt like this before. They know that they don't even want to resist justice, but at times they will still find themselves doing that. And it's sad, because it's like they know where their happiness is, and they don't feel like they deserve it to reach out and take it. That's really sad, you guys. For justice, we have get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. That card coming out right next to the abundance card really just like, this abundance card just makes you want to connect with nature. So okay, so the justice person really might be highly empathic, and you know, that would really make sense with this giving nature. And like, when people can really sense and pick up on the energies around them, they can tend to be really caring, you know. So I think that this energy of justice always being in their head and being really confused and trying to be so logical, I think that what the justice person's guides are saying is really ground yourself and get into nature and kind of drop that energy down from that head energy down into your body. I think that this connection can make the justice person feel a bit untethered at times, and grounding would really help. I think this is mainly just confusion for justice that kind of makes things a little bit difficult, because they just don't even know like what the devil person is doing. For the devil, we have trust the niggle. So this is what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? This is really just speaking to that devil person's inner knowing about this connection. Like, we've already talked about it. They know what this is. They know how special this is. They know how rare this is. They know how important it is. They know how they feel about justice, and they will just try to deny it. They try to deny that, so it becomes like this card says, a niggle. It becomes a nagging feeling. Like, it's like this I have the image of like this bird, like a little bird landing on someone's shoulder and chirping in their ear, and like they're trying to swat the bird away, and the bird keeps flying back and landing on their shoulder and chirping in their ear. That's what this desire and what this connection is kind of doing to the devil. As much as this devil person tries to deny it, they can't. They feel like they just cannot resist it. So this card is really saying to the devil person, really pay more attention to what that feeling is trying to tell you, because it's worth listening to. And it's just like, it's just a repeated message here with fulfillment, and then with this card to trust that nagging kind of feeling. Like, it's just a repeated thing. And I just wonder, for the devil person, how many times have they been told, been guided, been shown, and they still try to resist. Okay, for our last two oracle cards for Justice person, we got an animal card, and it is Walrus. It's not focusing. And for the Devil person, we got a color, and it is Grandma Mauve, or Mauve, depending on how you pronounce that. These cards are hilarious. So, the Walrus card really, like, it talks about just loud, something loud and obnoxious. I hate, I hate to think of walruses like that, poor things, but I think it's like, for this Justice person, some of those negative thoughts can get really loud, and they can be quite relentless and a little bit obnoxious. And it's funny because I think in this way these two are mirroring each other again, because I think a lot of what goes on in the Devil person's head, it could be described that way too, loud and obnoxious. Like, they're trying to play it off like it's just this subtle little like bird chirp, but like it's getting loud for them. It's getting really hard to ignore. So this card coming out on Justice's side, I think it's just, it's really speaking to this need to ground. It's like this person needs to just get out of their head a little bit about this, and maybe be a little bit patient, because the Devil person is kind of going through something. They're going through a real battle, and I just think that sometimes these thoughts, and sometimes being left wondering, and just the thoughts that go on in this Justice person's head, they get loud and they get obnoxious. So this person, like, they get grounded. That's the advice there, and that's why. This Grandma Mauve, kind of like, you know, a pinky color. This card really talks about comfort and caring and loving, and that is what the Devil person feels around Justice. That's what Justice does. They make them feel all warm and cozy and sweet and loved up on. And you know, the way that, like, when you go see your grandma and she hugs you and she gives you fresh cookies. I mean, I don't know, but just that comforting feeling that you feel around somebody who just really is like a warm embrace. That's how the Devil person feels about Justice. That fulfillment. And they know it. They know it, and they are trying really hard to deny it. So that's kind of the energy going on in this connection. Let's look at some tarot cards. I'm going to leave these two here so that we know who we're talking about. But let's look at some tarot cards to, let's find out what your person wants to get out of this connection. And then we'll look at what energy they're going to bring to this connection. Okay. What does this person want to get out of this connection? Oh my gosh. You guys, that's too many cards. I guess I have a lot to say. Okay. Four of Wands. I was going to take 3 cards, but you guys had like 5 cards fall out. 4 of Wands. The 9 of Swords. Judgment. That came out in pile 1. The High Priestess. Oh my gosh. And the Ace of Cups. Okay, funny thing. Pile 1's cards ended with an ace. Different ace, but ended with an ace. And also had the Judgment card show up. Okay. What this person wants to get out of this connection is, I really hesitate to say it like this, but I mean, plain and simple, marriage. So if not marriage, a union, a committed union, like a marriage. That 4 of Wands energy coming out. Yeah, there's like this definite feeling of this is actually like where they want to end up with you, and they want this new beginning in love with you. There is so much here, like the mental torment that we were talking about, this tug of war, this push and pull that's going on in this person's head, is this Nine of Swords energy. They cannot sleep. Like, they can't sleep because they're thinking about you. And honestly, sometimes they're fantasizing about you, and that's why they can't sleep, or that's what wakes them up. But there is this desire for the truth to come out here, for like the secrets to be known with this High Priestess energy. This person wants for you to know what is going on in their head. There's not a whole lot here about how they will communicate that. We can get that when we look into what energy they're going to bring to this connection, but they want to be able to like pull back the veil and just reveal to you what is going on in their head. But ultimately, this Ace of Cups here is a new beginning in love. So they want to start over with you. They want to maybe even, it might not be start over, they want to start, you know, because for some of you, this is a connection that like can't get off the ground because it's, there's something slow happening here. There's a lot of torment. There's a lot of Nine of Swords energy. So definitely, they want love out of this connection. They want your love. Let's see what energy they will be bringing to this connection going forward. Okay, you guys. Okay. Let's get one more card. No. That's a group of cards. We just need one more card. Okay. Okay. Let's move all of this. So that we can see. Okay, we have the King of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Death card. Eight of Swords, again, I really think came out in group 1. So that might be a group worth watching for you. So we have a lot of Swords energy here. I was just talking to you about communication, about like not being quite sure how this person was going to communicate this, but definitely communication. So I think there's going to be more of an energy of communication coming from your person, letting you know a little bit more about what's going on so that you won't be in the dark. They're definitely going to be breaking out of this restricted feeling and coming forward with logic, which I love because we were talking a lot about logic, and I think that there's a definite need for that. Like, I think in this connection it will be appreciated to be logical, to communicate clearly and straightforward. Like, there's so much unsaid here that some straightforward communication is going to be appreciated, and I think is really going to help. The Death card, this is a card of transformation and of rebirth. So the energy that this person is bringing to the connection is one of a lot of change. I think mainly is they're going to show up a lot differently than they have been. They're going to show up communicating more and really like expressing where they are and the changes that they've made. And I don't think that it's going to be something that will leave you wondering, because we have all this Swords energy here. And I just love that they came out in the what energy they're going to bring to this connection portion, because here, I mean, we did have some Swords, but I'm like, I don't know how they're going to do this, but what they want to do is let you know how they feel. And then how they're going to do it is they're going to do it the most logical way. They're going to tell you, and they're going to show up changed. So, I mean, come on. That's great news. That is great news. I am going to leave this reading here. We had a whole lot going on here. A lot of passionate energy here. So when this communication starts coming through and the passion is revealed, please be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what's going on. If any of this resonated too, drop me a comment down below and let me know. I've been having so much fun hanging out with you guys in the comments. I love connecting with you. It just makes my day. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you feel like doing that. And I will see you in your next reading group too. Bye.